Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Renee. If you guys are new here, I am the owner of Home the Brand, a small stationery and budgeting shop. So today you guys, I am going to be showing you guys how to create your own savings challenge bundle. So what you will need is you're going to need a laminator and you're going to need a paper trimmer of some sort. I use the Fiskars. You're going to also need some cardstock as well as glossy laminating pouches, 3mm and 5mm. So let's not waste any time and let's get right into the video. Alright, so we're starting here on Canva and I'm going to show you guys the dimensions that I use. For this specific one, it's going to be 4 by 7 inches. If we were doing the trackers that double as envelopes, you would want to make it 3.5 by 6.5 inches. So you're going to go ahead and insert some background of your choice, whatever images you want. I'm going to go with this border and I'm going to center it. I did have another example, or I already had one done below, so I was just trying to show you guys exactly how I did it. You want to play around and design it however you would like. But this challenge is called Rainbow Riches. This challenge is actually available as you guys are watching this video if you are interested. So you go ahead, play around with the text, the sizing, the color. Just make it to your liking, however you want to put that out. As you guys can see here, this is the design I am going for. We're going to go ahead and skip that over because this is obviously your preference. Now that I have the cover page done, we're going to duplicate that page. We're going to erase everything on this page besides the background. Make sure that you go ahead and you lock the background. Now is where we're going to look for a circle of some sorts. It doesn't have to be a solid. You can do whatever one you choose. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the circle, which is where you would check off when you've completed the amount. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the circle and then I'm going to put the dollar amount right beside it. For this challenge, I have 4 amounts per section. So I'm going to put 4 circles, 4 amounts. Now that you have the first page formatted, go ahead and duplicate it and do the second section. You're going to do that for all 6 sections or how many you choose to do, but we're doing it for 6. I'm not going to show you every section because that's just repetitive, but you're just going to follow the same procedure that you did for the first section for the remaining 5. I went ahead and I duplicated the first page to create the sections page, which is going to be on the back of the cover page. Now, I'm not going to show you guys how to do front and back because it depends on your printer. However, if you are just doing without the back side having any type of design, it would just be the 4 by 7 cover page, back page, and the 6 trackers. It wouldn't be too complicated. Backside, printing on the back side of the page is a little bit more complicated. And like I said, it does depend on your printer. I'm not going to get into that right now. This section page is just for the person completing it to just mark off once they've completed each section. You can skip this if you like. I just included this for my challenge. Now that we got the design done, we're going to go ahead and we're going to click share in the top. We are going to download this as a PNG. So go ahead and download that to your computer. Once that is done, I like to open these PNGs and arrange them in a Google Doc so that I can print them. You can decide however you want to. But now we are going to move on to the cash envelopes. So I am doing separate cash envelopes for this challenge. Normally, like I said, I would make the trackers double as the envelope, but I chose this design. So if you've watched my other videos on how to create cash envelopes, it is the same. The width of my cash envelopes are 6.5 inches by 3.2 inches tall. Once I have the width and the height of the envelope done, I'm going to just add section 1 to the envelope. Each section is going to be an envelope, so in total there will be 6. Once you complete the first one, you just want to duplicate it 2 more times, and then you'll duplicate that page and change the other ones to 4, 5, and 6. I went a little further and I played with the transparency for the envelopes because I didn't want them as bold as the actual trackers. You can go ahead and play with that if you would like. Once that is done, you're going to click share, you're going to download, and you're going to download this as a PDF. Now, like I said, this is how I would arrange it in a Google Doc if I was just printing one-sided trackers. So go ahead and arrange them and then print them off. Now that you have them printed out, you're going to put them in a 5mm laminating pouch. You guys see, this is a double-sided version. I'll show you guys a double-sided version if you guys ask for it later on. However, it is just going ahead and printing one side and then flipping the page and putting it back in the printer. At least for my printer it is, unless your printer automatically would do double-sided. So for the cash envelopes, we have to cut them out one by one. I just go ahead and use this Fiskars paper trimmer. I'm not even going to show you guys this. Like, I'll just speed up through it. It is self-explanatory. There's no rocket science towards it. Just go ahead and cut each one out. Now you want to take the 3mm laminating pouch and we are going to cut this down to size to fit the cash envelope that we just cut out. Once we have the correct width, you're going to turn that laminating pouch sideways and you're going to cut out 3.5 tall pieces. I hope that makes sense. You guys can see what I'm doing here. Go ahead and repeat that a second time because we do have 6 cash envelopes in total. Now you're going to take a 5mm laminating pouch and you are going to make the envelope. So you're going to take one set of the 3mm laminating sheets and you're going to flip them as you see here, and then you're going to line it up with the card stock. This is how you're going to make the envelope. So make sure that it's lined up properly. You may have to do it on a flat surface and pat it down a few times to get it lined up. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can overlap a little. I mean, you might want to get it as close as possible, but I promise you it is okay. You want to make sure that when you line them up, there is space left for the hole punching. I like to make sure there's at least 0.5 of an inch space so that when I go to hole punch, it's enough space. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the third one and you're going to see how I place this one as well, just to make sure, again, there's space for the holes. This is what it looks like once it's all laminated, and now I'm going to show you guys how to cut it. But make sure you duplicate that whole process a second time because, like I said, we have 6 envelopes in total. Don't forget to laminate those trackers as well. Okay, now let's cut out the cash envelopes. Like I said, you want to make sure there's at least 0.5 inches below the envelope so that we have enough space to punch holes in it. Now when you cut the sides, make sure that you leave just a little bit of space. You don't want to cut it exactly on the cardstock. Another tip is when I cut the top of the envelope, I make sure there's a little bit of a lip where the laminating pouch overlaps the cardstock. This just prevents it from opening up anytime in the future. And there you can see you have your cash envelope. So you're going to go ahead and repeat that for the 5 remaining envelopes, and then we're going to go on to hole punching. Alright, you guys, we're almost at the end. Now we're going to go ahead and hole punch. These are A6 size, so you want to make sure that your hole punch is set to personal if you're using this hole punch. And I like to make sure that I double check that there's enough spacing or equal spacing at the top and the bottom of the holes. These hole punches are notorious for shifting when you're hole punching, so you want to go ahead and make sure that you keep double checking that it hasn't moved. I did forget to tell you that you will need a hole punch at the beginning, but it's quite obvious if you were wanting to put this in an envelope. The next step is actually optional, but I like to corner round my challenges just because the lamination as well as the cardstock can be sharp sometimes, and I like to avoid that. So I do use this corner rounder that I did get on Amazon. If you are interested, it is in my Amazon storefront, which is linked in the description box. Once everything is cut out, corner rounded, and hole punch, I like to run the cash envelopes through the laminator one more time just to make sure everything is sealed. Alright, you guys, that brings us to the end of the tutorial. I'm just going to go ahead and put this in an acrylic binder. Of course, you put it in whatever you so choose, but you're going to go ahead with the back page, section 6 envelope, section 6 tracker, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and cover page, of course. So I hope you guys do enjoy this video. I hope you learned something. If you did, let me know in the comments what other videos you guys want me to do, any other tutorials that you guys want me to do for you. I do have to do an A7 cash envelope video. I did not forget. I've just been quite busy with not only business but as well as school, so it's just been chaotic over here, but I am gonna have that video out hopefully very soon. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.